Greetings, greetings, family. We are live. Sister Shanice in the house. Absolutely delighted to be with you this evening. And sincere apologies that I wasn't able to be with you last week. So I'm going to tell you all what happened in just a little while. So let me just make sure that I am recording. There we go. We've got the recording in progress so that I've got this as a backup. So please do put the word out. Let everybody know that I am indeed live on YouTube. Let me do the same now. Let me be posting to family and friends to let everyone know that I am live and direct. We are into Black History Month. So of course, you know, I'm going to do a little bit of a Black History Month special. Plus, there is just so much happening, as always, within our community. Gonna have to be sharing with you some perspectives on some of the major topics that we need to be discussing today. So as you come through the door, please do give me a thumbs up. And also let me know that you are in the house. It would be awesome to have you join me on the show live and direct today. So I'm just going to be doing a little bit of posting in the background, and I'll be grateful as well if you were to grab hold of the link and let people know that we are indeed live and direct today. Sister Shanice in the house going to be taking you through, all being well, to about 10 p.m. UK time today. And yeah, if you would like to join me in the house as well, you would be absolutely welcome to do so. So I missed you all so much last strong, but I was unable to join you. I got a strike, and you know, one of my videos taken down, and so that's 2 strikes now. And as they say, 3 strikes and I may very well be off this channel. They may well take down this channel. So I've got a new channel that I'm going to be telling you all about, and certainly hope that you make a note and you subscribe to the new channel, so that going forward, if you don't find me here, you will find me there. Okay, so Sister Shanice in the house, looking forward to a great conversation with you all today. So I had a great show on my radio show today. As most of you should know by now, I do indeed do a radio show on the Big G Galaxy Afiwi, the only de-brainwashing station. Certainly hope that you have been tuning into that show. What phenomenal conversations we have on that radio show. It's one of the very few radio stations and talk shows that exist anywhere in the UK where we as a family can come together and have conversations about the issues that impact us. We provide a voice for the voiceless. Yes, that's what we do. So yeah, I can see I've got Natural Mystic in the house already, watching from the UK. Drop a message in the chat, family. Let me know that you are watching, and also where you are watching me from. And yeah, getting ready to have a really interesting conversation with the family today. Just sending out the links as I'm speaking to you today. It is October. We are on, well, 4 days already into October. I just can't believe how quickly the year is just flying by. And so much has been happening over the course of the year as well. Always so much for us to talk about as a family. So come on through the door, family. Let's get the conversation going. Please post the link. Let everybody know Medea and ready for us to be having the conversations. Okay, and yeah, do talk to me in the chat. Do give me a thumbs up as you come through the door. I want to thank everybody that has already subscribed to this channel. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. The good news is that I do have a new channel, and I'm going to be posting the link to that new channel in the description box during the show today, because that new channel is going to be my backup. So if you don't catch me here, you can catch me there, okay, on the new channel. And some of you might be asking already, what is the name of the new channel? Well, the new channel is on YouTube, and it's called African World Affairs. So if you do the @ sign and then put in African World Affairs, the new channel will come up. And at least the first 20 subscribers to that new channel is going to get a copy of my new e-handbook. Yes, I'm in the middle of writing a really exciting e-handbook. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about that handbook in the show today. I'm really excited about it. I'm just enjoying the research that I'm doing for this handbook, and I'm looking forward to sharing some snippets about that with you in the show today as well. For those of you who didn't manage to get me last strong, just to let you know that I was very fortunate to have in conversation last strong our beloved brother Franklin Jones. But because we were unable to go live on YouTube, what we did was we went live on Facebook instead. It didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. First, it was a private link. Then I discovered it was private and had to make it public. And in the process of trying to do that, it got a little messy. But, we still managed to do a show. So if you missed the show that our brother Franklin Jones did with me last strong, you should be able to get it on my Facebook channel, my Facebook page. So just go over to Facebook, family, and you'll be able to watch the show that I did last Wednesday with brother Franklin Jones. It was a lastminute.com trying to go live on Facebook. It was the first that I'd actually gone live on Facebook via StreamYard, which is what I use. And as I said, the process was a little bit complex, but we made it there in the end. But unfortunately, not everybody managed to find us. But the record is there, the information was there. You know how, those of you who have watched brother Franklin Jones before, who's listened to him before, you will know that he goes deep. He talks about the psychological brainwashing. He talks about the fact that we are being socially engineered, and that there is a huge psyops operation that's actually targeted at us as a people. How does he know this? He knows this because he is a man who's got a military background. And when he was in Afghanistan or somewhere like that, following the war, the Americans then had to go in with a psyops operation, because it's one thing to win the war, but then he was saying they also needed to win the hearts and the minds and the trust and confidence of the people. And the way that they were able to do that was by doing a sort of process of brainwashing. And as he was learning the brainwashing techniques, he realized that that's what they do to us. And so, he made it his duty after that to go around to our communities and let us know that we are the victims of a massive psyops operation. And the psyops is happening to us through all their medias, the news reports, their documentaries, their TV programming shows, their radios, their newspapers. They're all geared towards putting out a particular narrative that's going to make us as a people feel inferior, less than, hopeless and incompetent. And so sometimes when we feel as though, why are we in this problem? Why are we not doing better? What's going on? And, when we have those sort of thoughts, it's not by accident. It's actually by design. Yes, it's the narrative that they're pushing into our minds as a people, and we are absorbing it and believing it, that it isn't necessarily the case. Because if we were to see the real statistics, we'd probably find that as a people, we are doing phenomenally well. I mean, when you look at where we're coming from as a people, when you consider what we have been through, the hell that we have been through, yeah, the enslavement, the colonization, the chattel enslavement, the neocolonialism, when you think of the racism and everything that we have had thrown at us as a people, it's a miracle. We are a miracle, you know, that's still going through it all, you know, we're standing tall as a people. Okay, I've posted out the links to family members and friends to let them know that I'm in the house, and you know, please do the same as well. So welcome, Natural Mystic. Great to have you in the house, watching us from the UK. Mikey Simba, good to have you in the house as well, saying Asante Sana for keeping it 100, full 100 every time. God bless to you as well, Mikey Sims. Rise up, brother Kwame Aboje. Happy African History Month to you. Black at you as well. Medea, waiting for the rest of the family to come through the door as well. And he's saying, you're so right. We've been through hell and back, haven't we just? Rise up, the EWF, the Ethiopian World Federation. Great to have you in the house. Send enough love. Black at you as well. Welcome, Aiman. Welcome. Good to have you in the house. And you know, I was saying that I missed you all so much last strong, but we had those challenges. You probably worked out. I don't know. You might have gone to the channel and thought, where is she? Why is Sister Shanice not on a Wednesday? She's always on 8 o'clock sharp. She's always on UK time. What? You know, so something happened. And, you know, I got a strike. And so as a result of that, I wasn't able to broadcast. And what's really awful as well is that I wasn't even able to tell you all that I was unable to broadcast. And so, you know, you all logged on wondering what was going on, and I just wasn't here. So that's what happened last strong. So as a result, I've created a new channel, and I've just posted the link to the new channel in the chat. You will find it there. Rise up, Angie Love. Love your name as well. Watching from Georgia in the America KK. Oh wow, love it, lovely. Yes, Amiman, I say Amiman. He say Ami, Ami we. What's that? Say we, me, now. Say it with me now. Oh, say it with me now. Ami, man. Yeah. Rise up, Dennis Wilson. Good to have you in the house from Black Uhuru. And R.A. Speak is watching us. He says, respect to Buganda Queen, whose ancestors fought the British colonizers. Yes, rise up, indeed. And if you want to drop the names of some of our ancestors, we're going to be calling out their names today. It is Black History Month. It is African History Month. It is the time when we want to remember all of our great ancestors. Rise up, Mikey Simba, for reminding us of Queen Buganda. Kofi, Jojo, good to have you in the house. Hotep, Ras Max David, good to have you in the house. He said, I mean, man said, I've got it. I've got your name right. Rise up, Brother Kimani. Enough fire go on today as well. And yeah, drop a note. Let me know that you're in the house. Rise up the entire family. Let me know where in the world you're watching us from. It's wonderful to know that we've got a global family in the house. So, you know, welcome everybody. And just to remind you, if you're coming through the door, I do have a new channel, and the name of the channel is African World Affairs. African World Affairs. So if you just put the @ and African World Affairs, the channel will come up. And yeah, I've just launched it today. Well, I set it up yesterday. Well, set it up a little while ago, actually, but decided to, right, I've got to do this because these people are on my case, and I can see quite soon, hey, you know, I'm just going to be locked out of my station altogether. So, you know, we've got to prepare for the inevitable. So here is the name of the channel. I'm just posting it now. So if you go into YouTube and put in @African World Affairs, actually, I think it's all one word, African World Affairs, you will be able to get that channel, and you'll be able to find me there anytime you can't find me here. And I'm going to start populating the channel as well with programs. I think that's where I'm going to start putting my news reports, okay? So, yeah, I'll put my news reports there. I'll continue to do in the lives here as much as possible, but all those news reports and those news bulletins, I think I'm going to start putting them on my new channel so that I can start populating it for the family. Angie, yes, you don't know, you don't know. I saw it go. You know, the devil, them about them not stop trouble we. They don't stop troubling us at all. So as always, so much to talk about today. So as you're coming through the door, let me start some of the conversations that I want to be having with you. First of all, just want to remind you that I am a presenter on a wonderful radio station called Galaxy Afiwi. In fact, let me get the station and put the link in the chat for you. And please, everybody, do make a note of this channel. It is absolutely awesome. It's another space and place where we can come together as a family and talk about the issues that impact us. And so you can get us on Zeno. I've just given you the Zeno link. Make sure you keep a copy of it. Rise Up Ubuntu. Make sure you keep a copy of that link. I'm next on that radio station on Saturday at 10 a.m. UK time. We have a community talk show every Saturday, 10 a.m. UK time. And it would be absolutely awesome to have you call in, because on this radio station, I do have a phone facility. And you can call in and we can have a conversation. And there are a number of great presenters on that radio station. We have talk shows, music shows, storytelling programs. There's early rising shows. So log on, yeah, and catch me every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. UK time, and on alternative Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It would be phenomenal to have you in the house. Okay, so looking forward to you joining me there. And just to remind you that I have actually published a paper. I've told you about it before. If you haven't got a copy of it, do get your copy. It is free of charge. The paper talks about the fact that we as Africans are the original people of Ireland, and that they have whitewashed us out of history. They have whitewashed the fact that we were the first people of England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. They've whitewashed it out of history, and I've put us right back into history. I've done the research. My sources are there. Go get a copy of the paper from academia.edu. The title of that paper is The Omission of an Asian African Irish Population from Contemporary Western Education. And I brought to you part 1 and part 2 on this platform. And I promised you I'd do the part 3 that is coming, maybe next strong. If you want me to bring that next strong, if you've seen part 1 and part 2 and you're ready now for part 3, let me know, okay? You've got me tonight. I didn't bring a speaker on board because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to go live. and I didn't want to, mess up and have a speaker and us not go live. And it is the first day, well, the first few days of UK Black History Month. And so we want to be remembering our ancestors and our greatness. And I can see that you've been dropping some names in the chat. So let me bring that to you. Kwame Ture, rise up the name of Kwame Ture, indeed. Brother Kwame Bojo is saying, yeah, Nana Kwaku Bonsu is indeed one of our presenters on the Big G Galaxy FEW. And if any of you know Nana Bonsu, you will know that he is fire. You can catch Nana Bonsu on a Tuesday evening from, I think, 7 till 9 is his new time. And you can also catch him on a Sunday from about 10 a.m. through to about 1 p.m. on a Sunday. In fact, on a Sunday, if you like talk shows, just tune in from 8 a.m. in the morning, UK time, right through to about 4 p.m. and you will get our beloved Nana Bonsu, Nana Pakombra by Dr. Abu, show after show, talk show after talk show on a Sunday. Thank you for the hearts, family. Thank you. Door of L, welcome, welcome. And said, what happened to the Franklin Jones interview? Yeah, Dorel, I was explaining earlier that last strong, I got locked out of YouTube. Because of a strike, so I wasn't able to go live with our brother Franklin Jones. So we went live. Well, we wasn't able to go live via YouTube, but we did go live via my Facebook channel. And because it was lastminute.com, I've had a conversation with our beloved Franklin Jones, and he has agreed that we will do the show again. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to go live tonight, so I didn't want to risk messing him about and have him booked for tonight and then us not go live. But we will be bringing our beloved brother back again, because the message that he dropped last strong, everybody needs to hear it. It helps us to understand what's happening to us. We are the victims here of a massive psyops operation, and we need to know how that works. Okay. Oh, yes. So more names have been sent my way. Nana Corbina Tete, Mariam Mrama Makiba, rising up these names. Mikey Simba says Ethiopia was forced to sell Eritrea to the French. Now we need Ethiopia to integrate Eritrea. Unity is strength. Absolutely. Back in the days, we didn't just have these small nations. We had empires, massive empires. And those were the days when we were our most powerful as well. Rise up, the memory of Nozamo Winnie Mandela, Marcus Messiah Garvey, Elijah Muhammad. Yes, rise up, Tony Browder, Asaji Hillard, John Henry Clark, Amos Wilson, Harriet Tubman, Queen Afua. Rise up, these wonderful greats, living and past. Our brother, Professor James Small, Robin Walker, Wade Nobles, Simeon Toko, Paul Bogle. Wow, you're just dropping the greats. Family, if I am mentioning a name that you don't know, you need to get to know these names. These are our greats. Many of them are still living, some are past. Get to know the names of these greats. Paul Bogle, Dr. Clyde Waters, and Dr. Clyde Winters as well. Our brother Imhotep, who recently passed on to the ancestors. Hannibal of Carthage. Wow, wow, wow. And Dorel says, is that saved, the interview? Yes. Will you be able to listen to it on Facebook? Yes, you will be able to listen to it, and it is saved. And in fact, what I'll try and do is find it here, and then I will post it in the chat so that, the family can watch that interview and listen to the great teachings of our beloved Franklin Jones when you get the opportunity to do so. Okay, so as we go through, I will look for that interview, and I will post it in the chat. Yeah, please do continue posting the names of some of our greats, because, you know, we need to big them up. We need to remember them. We need to celebrate them for the great, great works and their commitment to our community. You know, it's not an easy task, the works that our people do for us as a people. It's fraught with challenges. Many of the names that I've even read out so far are the names of those whose lives were cut short because they decided that they were going to do the works for us as a community. So we are all very, very aware of the risks that are involved when we decide that we want to step out and provide a service to our community. So to see the interview of our brother Franklin Jones, check out this link here on Facebook. That should get you to the interview. And as I said, our brother has kindly agreed that he will come back and do the interview again here on the Sista Shanice Show platform. And we're ever so grateful to him for that. So let's remember some more names, because, you know, it is Black History Month. Nanny of the Maroons. Yes, Angela, big up Nanny of the Maroons. Wow, she refused, didn't she, to sign any agreement with the British, because she decided that, you know, she wasn't going to have a treaty with them because these people cannot be trusted, and how right she was. Let's bring up Henry McNeil Turner, Kwame Nkrumah, Steve Biko. Yes, Chris is saying the first people of Ireland. He doesn't believe it. Get my paper, check out the sources. Chris even said he was looking forward to today's show because he finds it a great laugh. Yes, Chris, I know you find the fact that we had a history prior to enslavement really difficult to believe, but I can assure you the evidence is there. The academic world are very aware, the museums are all very aware and are full of our treasures prior to those invasions. Evidence and testimony of our greatness. Yes, indeed. Rise up, Betty, rise up. Dr. Leonard Jeffries, indeed. And Shafraus Selassie. No, I don't know. I'm going to have to look up that one there. Gladys West, Rosalinda Jeffries, Fred West, Taki, Clyde Winters, yes, Haki S. Madubutu, the Momo Uprisings, Louis Farrakhan, Frederick Douglass, Stephen Lawrence. We have so many greats. Stevie Wonder, Mike Jackson, Amira Baraka, Steve Lawrence, Booker T. Washington. The names just keep coming. Thank you so much. Christopher says, I love by the location where Malcolm X, what? Oh, I love, or you live by the location where you live by the location, I think I should say, where Malcolm X was assassinated. And I go to the hospital where they took him for my health care. Wow. And I wonder if you get, you know, some kind of connection, some kind of spiritual connection when you make those trips. Angela, rise up. She says, General Idi Amin Dada. Yes, he cared about his people. Yes, indeed. The Honorable John Magufuli, indeed. Wow, these are greats who lived and did the works during our lifetime. Dr. Rononko Rashida and Ivan Van Sertima. Family. Does this make you, doesn't hearing all of these names make you feel proud? Doesn't it remind you of how great we are as a people? Isn't it, you know, just a testimony of the fact that we have so many greats as a people? And, you know, these are the people, the names of the people who we should be reading about in our history books, who we should be reading about and learning about in the schools, in our colleges and the universities. These are the names of the greats who will inspire us, who will uplift us, who will make us realize and recognize that we are great and greater than, you know, and this is what it's all about. I love it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I'm going to be going back to the list in a little while. So yes, do get that paper. Chris, especially you, get that paper, okay? And check out all the sources for yourself. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Okay, now I've got a really important date for your diary. Everybody, please put this date in your diary. The date is Saturday, the 28th of October, 2023. From 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. GMT, that should be, and 12 noon ET time. We are having a fundraiser event for the women rape victims of the DRC Congo and also for the families in Haiti. Those of you who saw the panel, who heard the panel discussion and saw the wonderful family members from the DRC Congo who I interviewed a couple of months ago will know why we need to have this fundraiser event. In fact, you all were the ones who said that we needed to do more and we needed to do what we can to help and assist our brothers and sisters in the DRC, in the Congo. And so I want to rise up the wonderful team that have come together with me, and together we are putting on this event. And we're recruiting artists, speakers. We've got representatives from organizations who are already on board. We need business people to come on board. If you've got any products that you would like us to give to family members, you know, it's going to be an online event. And you can get the opportunity to promote your business. You can send us a flyer about your business and we'll promote your business, all for a donation towards the cause. So some of the artists that we've already got lined up, we've got people like General Saint, Teacher D, Bobo's Dreadstar, we've got Makaba coming on, Adisebi coming on as well as a co-host, Her Excellency Makaba. We've got guest speakers such as Dr. Abu, Brother Leo Mohammed, Leader Bandaka. We've got a few speakers already lined up, family, and we've also got brothers from the DRC Congo who are going to be joining us. We've got Brother Kapili from DRC Congo who's going to be joining us. We've got Sister Rukia from the DRC Congo is going to be joining us, and they're going to be, you know, reminding us about what's happening in that region and what we can be doing to help and assist. And this fundraiser is designed to help and assist our brothers and sisters on the continent. You know, earlier today, I was honored on my radio show to have as a special guest our brother, Elder Adi, Elder Adisebu, and Elder Echaba Adisebu. And he is the founder of Black History Month. And he reminded us this morning that it's our responsibility, those of us in the diaspora, to do all that we can to win back Africa for the Africans. He said we can't leave it just to our brothers and sisters on the continent. We've got to link hands with our brothers and sisters. We've got to work hand in hand with our brothers and sisters and do what we can to support them. And this fundraiser event is precisely what that is all about. It's about us helping our brothers and sisters. Are we our brother's keeper? Yes, we are. Are we our brother's supporter? Yes, we are. So rise up all the artists who've already said that they're going to come and perform for us on the day. We're going to have cultural events on the day as well. Speakers, we're going to have fun, you know, we're going to have a panel debate. But very importantly, we need you, family, to make the day a success. So if you just put away, you know, a few dollars, a few pounds to give on the day or even before, because we will create a GoFundMe or something like that that you can donate to. We want to be able to give to our brothers and sisters who are doing the works on the ground in the Congo and in Haiti. And I know that we are a people who give. And so let's give to our brothers and sisters on the continent Let's let them know that we care. Let's let them know that we are there for them. Let us be our brothers and our sisters' keeper. Only we can do for we. So to everybody in the team, I want to rise you all up. Those of you who are doing the work, getting the cultural videos together, getting the cultural songs together, getting the artists and the speakers on board, doing the publicity behind the scenes. We thank you so, so much. Only we can do for we, as we say on the Big G Galaxy Theory. So that's the date for your diary, Saturday, the 28th of this month, October. We are going to be coming to you live online, and it's going to be at least for 4 hours of entertainment to raise some funds for our brothers and sisters on the continent. And looking forward, family, to you being part of the celebrations, and also to you making your contribution. So please do from now start telling your family and family members and friends so that they can be part of the giving. The light's gone. Sorry, I've gone dark. My light's gone out, but hopefully that'll get sorted in a little while. So what else have we got going on? If you've got an event or something happening and you want to put the information in the chat about it, then please do. And I certainly will bring it to the attention of our family members. We have more names coming up of some greats in our community. People like Adelaide, Casely Hayford, one for me to look up, David Walker, Ishaka Musu, Barashango. Yes, then there was light. Yeah, got back some light. Let me see. Yes, Medea, you can see me again. Yes, rise up, rise up. Fred Jones. Yes, people rising up each other. Rise up, darling. Good to have you in the house as well. And yes, yeah, let me see what's going on. Billie Holiday. Yes, we're here. Yes, we got a panel discussion going on the day as well. We got Minka as well. That's another name, Minka Dofo, Asari Sabukwe. Yes, Olatunji Heru, rise up. Kai Bandaka, rise up. Yes, Gamba Kokai, rise up. Jesse Owens, rise up. Wilma Rudolph, rise up. Yes, family, please do hit that like button. Yes, let's share the names with each other of the greats within our community, those living and those past. Let's call the names. And the only time we die as a people is when we are forgotten. But for as long as our name is being called, then we are remembered as a people. Right, let me, actually, I'm going to share screen with you because I want you to see the face of this great man, Elder Echaba Adesebo. He was a guest on my show earlier today. Oh, I better plug in. Hold on, I'm going to need some battery soon, so got to make sure I've got that plugged in. Thank you so much. Yes, that's it. So got the battery sorted out. Don't want to be cutting out, do I now? Okay, you can see the screen, family, and you are looking at the face of our beloved Elder Echaba Adesebo. And he's the one who started Black History Month here in the UK, England. And he told us the story. He's been a guest on my show before, and you can find his video and the full story on my YouTube channel, on the Sista Shanice Show YouTube channel. And he used to work for the Greater London Council back in the early 1980s. And, you know, those were revolutionary times here in the UK back in the 80s. And he was telling the story in the Guardian newspaper about what led him, the conversation that led him to launch Black History Month in the UK. There was already the Black History Month in the USA, but we didn't have it here in the UK. Well, he went into work one day, he said, and a colleague of him was in tears. And so he wanted to find out why, what was wrong. And she said that her son, the son who she'd named after Marcus Garvey, said to her last night, "Mom, why couldn't I be born white?" Wow. That must have been, it was devastating. It was so devastating for the mother, you know, because she had been doing all she could to make her son feel proud of who he is. But when our elder Echaba heard this, he realized we've got to do more. Because, you know, those of us that went to school, college and university here in the UK will know that the history that we was fed, the lessons that we were told that to indoctrinate us about who we were as a people was one that made us feel inferior. It was one that made us feel ashamed of being an African. I mean, the whole context of our history was that we were enslaved and we were saved, you know, because we were just running around the jungles in Africa, swinging from tree to tree. We were uncivilized savages, you know, cannibals eating each other. And if it wasn't for these white people who came and saved us, we'd be still swinging from trees and eating each other, basically, in the bushes in Africa. I mean, it wasn't quite like that, but it might as well have just been like that. And how did they save us? Well, actually, we had to enslave you to save you because you were so barbaric as a people. We had to make you our slave. And I mean, you know, the history is almost as bad as that, so much so that it caused a lot of our people to have a really warped sense of identity. You know, our people just didn't want to be associated with being an African, didn't want to be told that they were African because, you know, it was a badge of shame almost and a badge of humiliation. But our beloved brother Echaba, he knew that we had a great history. He knew that we were the greatest people. He knew, you know, that we came from a lineage of great ones. And he felt that all of our children and all of our people needed to be aware of our greatness. And even the Europeans themselves who don't know our history needed to be made aware of the truth of our history. So with all of that in mind, and with the times being as revolutionary as they were, you know, he was inviting over to the UK to speak at conferences, people like Angela Davis, Winnie Mandela, Jesse Jackson, Ray Charles, etc. They were coming here to the UK, you know, to raise our level of consciousness and awareness about our greatness, because our brothers and sisters on the other side of the pond in America, they were also going through the apartheid type systems in America. And, you know, they'd come out of a season of lynching and, you know, it was the times of the civil rights movement, because they were coming out of their own horrors of enslavement as well. And so not only were we experiencing the horrors of enslavement on the Caribbean, on the plantations in the Caribbean, but our people were experiencing the horrors of enslavement in America, in the Americas more widely, and also on the continent of Africa itself. You know, because as Africans, we had experienced thousands of years of invasions to the point, you know, that eventually, you know, by the mid-19th century, we were taken over mainly by the Europeans. We became a conquered nation, didn't we? But then, you know, with the great late 50s and early 60s, with our revolutionary freedom fighters, we were able to free ourselves, in namesake anyway, and chase those barlets out of town. We were able to chase our enslavers and our captors, you know, out of Africa. And, you know, at that time, we were on course to become independent nations. But as you know, what happened, we know the story now. They murdered, assassinated, overthrew our revolutionary freedom fighters and put puppets in their places, who basically, you know, sold our independence dream down the Swanee and tied us up in a cycle of debt again that we are now, you know, going to have to still try and climb out of. And so, you know, our beloved brother, he saw the writing on the wall. He came from Ghana. You know, he was part of the, you know, the celebrations of having won independence with Kwame Nkrumah, and then he saw the overthrowing, and you know, so he knew what we needed to do as a people, and so he did the works to bring in the Black History Month that was introduced into the UK. I think he said it was 36 years ago. So this year, 2023, we're celebrating 36 years of Black History Month, stroke African History Month here in the UK. And so what was our brother Chaba Adesebu talking about today on my show? Well, he was reminding us that as a people, we are still experiencing trauma. There's still a lot of lingering trauma that we are experiencing as a people, and it manifests itself in a multiplicity of ways. Now, I'll go on in a minute to some of the ways that it's manifesting itself today, you know, especially amongst our young people. So he was saying, as a result of our enslavement, chattel slavery, colonialism, neocolonialism, and all the other wicked evils of the that has been imposed upon us as a people, we are suffering from trauma, you know, and a lot of our people are damaged, and damaged people cause damage. And so we have to be mindful of that. We've not experienced any healing, we've not experienced any therapy, you know, and trauma is still lingering in our DNA. And because of that trauma, you know, there are many of us who have been impacted and infected. And with the continuing social engineering and misinformation and indoctrination about us and our history, you know, a lot of us have got an identity crisis. We don't know or don't want to be associated with being an African. So some of us would say, I'm not African, I'm American, or I'm British, or I'm this, or I'm that. No, you're African. If you're a Chinese born in America, you're still a Chinese. If you're a Chinese born in India, you're still a Chinese. So as an African, if you're born in Britain, or you're born in America, or you're born in Brazil, you are still an African. If you're born in Jamaica, you're still an African. So there's been a deliberate confusion amongst us as a people, you know, between our nationality and our ethnicity. So, you know, our ethnicity is that we are originally Africans, the original people, the human beings made up of melanin, the same melanin in the soil, in the universe, in everything that grows. You know, melanin makes the universe tick. That same melanin is in us. And so if you're made up of melanin, you are from the stock of the original human beings, okay? Non-melanated people are a different species, and we know. So we put that to one side for now, because that's not the topic of conversation for today. But you know, we've been led to want to, anyway, there's been a lot of confusion about our identity. And he said, you know, we really need to deal with that. African History Month is the month that we must all use to try and deal with that trauma and the misinformation about our identity and who we are as a people. He talked as well about, you know, the days of the 80s and the fight for equality and the Race Relations Act and, you know, all the fights, because there was a lot of blatant racism back then. You know, white people, them never worry about no chat. If they didn't want you in the workplace because you were Black, they would tell you, we don't want you here because you're Black. You know, you're not going to get this job because you're Black. We're not going to let you live here because you're Black. They told you straight to your face. Whereas now it's not what we call subtle racism, because the Race Relations Act was introduced, the Equalities Act that took over the Race Relations Act is in place, which means that it's illegal now for Europeans to discriminate. So because it's illegal for them to discriminate, racism has gone underground, so to speak. It hasn't gone away, it's still very much there. And we can see that in some of the crimes that are being committed against us. And I will talk about some of those crimes here today as well. And so I was asking our brother Chaba, I said, so what's the solution to the challenges that we experience, this legacy of enslavement, the legacy of chattel enslavement, colonization, neocolonialism that we're still going through today, you know, imperialism, what is the solution? And he said that the solution is that we in the diaspora have to take ownership and responsibility for Africa. We must not see Africa outside of ourselves. We have to see the Africa in ourselves, and we have to recognize that we have to do all we can to help save Africa. The French want Africa, the British want Africa, the Americans want Africa, the Indians want Africa, the Chinese want Africa. Everybody wants Africa. Where are we? Where are we as the Africans outside of Africa, you know, in organizing and doing the work to support Africa? We talked about the likes, for example, of Adodo, Nana Adodo, the president, or Adolfo, the president of Ghana. Many of you have probably seen that video that went viral of him talking to some ministers of the military from America, I think they were. And it was a closed door meeting, but the meeting was being recorded. And as a result of that recording, we were able to hear the president, Akufo Addo, calling on the Americans to intervene in what he perceived as, you know, problems with his neighbors in Burkina Faso on his borders. He was calling in the military, the Americans, the same chattel enslavers, the same ones that our ancestors fought to free ourselves from. He's calling them in. To the warmongers that they are. Has he not seen Afghanistan? Has he not seen Libya, Syria, and Iran and everywhere else? And he's calling them in on his borders. Is he mad? You know, so we've got these sort of people, these treasonous, treacherous ones among us to deal with, who are holding important government positions, positions of leadership, but they're not our leaders. You know, they are what we call neo-colonial puppets. They have been put in place by the colonizers to do their dirty work. And so what he's doing as a head of state, you know, is criminal. I said, you know, to our brother Chaba, what do we do about the likes of him? Because he's not the only one who are working against their own people. You know, look at William Ruto, who we had high hopes for. Look how he's turned out, you know, condemning the coup because the Africans dared to take back their country, calling, you know, on ECOWAS and the Americans and others, and organizing, you know, 1,000 of his men to do the neo-colonial work in Haiti, you know? And so we've got the likes of them who are leaders in the governments of Africa, who are working against their people. These are nations that are rich beyond measure, but are taking bits of paper that the Americans call money to sign away the freedom of future generations, because they're creating a cycle of poverty. I said, what can we do about these sort of leaders? He said that what we need to do is oppose and dispose of such leaders. That's what we ought to do. We need to oppose, make our opposition known, and organize as the Europeans do to dispose of leaders they don't want. We as a people need to be organizing to be disposing of leaders like that. Otherwise, we're going to have the likes, you know, of likes like the former leader of Niger, who's selling the uranium, you know, to the French at 83 cents a kilo. Absolutely unbelievable, when it's valued at between $200 and $250 per kilo on the open market. These are people who are allowing our continent to be raped. These are the ones who are leading, you know, the leaders of Africa today. So we really have got our hands full and some serious challenges to hand. Let me go to the chat and make sure that our family are hearing me loud and clear, and get a sense of the conversations that's going on in the chat right now. Sister International, rise up, says, yes, they sold their souls to the devil, haven't they just? Kagame comes to mind as well, of Rwanda, William Ruto, of Kenya. We've got Adofu of Ghana. We've got these, let's name them, let's expose them, for the treacherous, treasonous leaders that they are. This is what we've got to do. These neo-colonial stooges, absolutely agree, Brother Kwame Aboju. He says that they must go. Ali Bongo, he's the one selling their uranium to light up France while his own country is in darkness. I saw an article recently, actually, they're investigating his wife for money laundering as well. Ramaphosa, yes, he's been called out. Let's call them out, the neo-colonial stooges. Absolute disgrace, pure disgrace. Agree with you, Brother Kwame. Carlene says, Wadamaya has changed my mind. I love Africa. Yes, I love Brother Wadamaya as well. He's waking up. Not only Africans in Africa about the beauty of Africa, because there are many Africans who have never even toured their own country, much less the whole of Africa, which would probably take a lifetime for most people to tour. But yes, he is doing the touring, and he's showing us the beauty of Africa, the potential and the business opportunities. Rise up, Brother Wadamaya, every time. And Rosemary King says, yes, he's a traitor. And I think that's when I was talking about the leader of Ghana. Angie Love says, yes, he's a traitor. The man is a fraudster. He's sold his soul to the devil. Ashe, oh. True, agree. Great presentation. Wish I could stay. Where you go? Come back. But you go. I'm not finished yet. Come here. And Brother Kwame said, it's a complete joy to be an African. Absolutely, yes. Let's share the joy of being an African. We have to come together. We have to organize as a people. We can organize in our families, in our communities, in our organizations, in our small groupings, large groupings. But it's important that we come together to fight against, the evil that is being meted out on us as a people on a daily basis. Some more names here. I've got Claudia Jones, Paul Stevenson, Musical Youth, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five. African History Month is there to remember as well as heal ourselves as a family. Yes, indeed. We got Steel Pulse, rise up, Augustus, rise up. Glad to have you in the house. And I certainly hope all of you have given me a thumbs up. We need your thumbs up. Rise up, Jean Baptiste, Pointer Dusable, Jean Baptiste. Is she the actress, Jean Baptiste? And we've got Louis Latimer. Yes, we're getting on to some of our inventors as well. Yes, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Yes, from Haiti. Tupac, Chuck D, Garat, Augustus Morgan, Chuck D, Linton Kwesi Johnson, Rosa Parks. Nuff greats. We are a great people with so many greats among us. Nat Turner, Madam C.J. Walker, Sarah Good, wow, Muta Baruka, Paul Robeson, so many. And our children need to know the names of all of these people. They need to know their life stories. We have got so many books to write. Mama Betty saying, keep it up. So that's a message from Kwame to Mama Betty in the house. Betty Jenkins said, I taught myself and my children about our history. Rise up, sis. This is what all of us need to be doing indeed. Rise up for that. Angie Love says they will not relent. They will not relent. We, the people, must keep our feet on their necks. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Habari Gani, to Rich African Elder in the house. Baba Rich Ashe. Sister Afri Jamos in the house. Welcome. She's welcoming everybody in the house as well from Ghana. Great to have you in the house, sis. Yes, Colleen Jones, Kaba Marat Keru from JA. Welcome. Yes, rise up. Dr. Umar Johnson, Ifatunde. Absolutely. Fire. Rise up, Brother Kimani. Great to have you in the house. Let's keep calling the names of our greats. There are so many great ones. And that is why, family, I started the next book, the book that I'm actually writing at the moment is one that involves uncovering some of our greatness from the science world, the engineering world, and the technological world. And wow, I was enjoying writing this book so much and enjoying doing the research so much. I'm like, I can't even wait until I finish the book to get some of the information out there, because there is just so much to our glorious past that our children and we as a people need to be aware of. I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do an e-handbook, and I'm going to give a copy of the e-handbook totally free to all of my Patreon supporters. So rise up, all my Patreon supporters. I know I haven't been engaging as much as I should, but I do appreciate love you all so much. So as a token of that appreciate love, I'm going to give you a free copy of my e-handbook. I'm giving myself 2 strongs max to have it completed. I just keep coming across so much information. So I'm doing the main book, which won't be ready for probably a couple of months or so. But for Black History Month, African History Month, I'm pulling some snippets from that book and adding some more information that's uncovering our greatness as scientists and as great ones. So this book is going to take you, family, on a journey. This ebook is going to take you on a journey through time. It's going to remind us and our children of our African greatness, our great scientists, our great scientific achievements that's often overlooked. That book is going to be like a little treasure trove of knowledge. Yeah, we're going to be, when you're reading that book, realizing that we are the ones that shape civilization through the ages. We are the ones that have laid the foundation for the civilizations that we have today. And in fact, in some areas of science, the world today haven't even caught up with us as Africans. Imagine, such is the level of our accomplishments, they have yet to even catch up to where we were prior to their invasions and their destructions of our kingdoms and our cities. Some of you might be saying, what kingdoms, what cities, and what empires am I talking about? I've mentioned so many of them in this little handbook. Anyway, let me give you a little flavor of what you've got to look forward to in my e-handbook. Now, I know, Betty, you were saying you studied your own history, and many of you have done the study of our history. And so you will know that we were the first sciences. You will know about the knowledge of the high sciences that we possessed as Africans. You will know that we are the innovators of medicines, of mathematics, and that, you will know about some of the pursuits that we were engaged in as Africans, because you've done the research. But there are many who are just so busy, they don't have the time to do the research. And if we're waiting for academia to tell us of our greatness, it's just not going to happen. And so I've poured a lot of this information into this e-handbook. And, it starts off by reminding us of some of the following. Did you know, family, that 1.4 million years ago, we as Africans had actually discovered how to use fire for domestic purposes. 1.4 million years ago. Now, at that time, that would have been a huge leap in terms of our technological abilities and evolution. So sometimes when they present us as Africans 1.4 million years ago, they try and give the impression that we were just hunter-gatherers, we were just gathering nuts and berries and eating and running around the place. And then sometimes we went out and we went hunting and we probably eat our catch raw. Not so. We would be round the fire as a community, as a family. This has been uncovered from archaeological research that 1.4 million years ago, wow, shows how far down they would have had to dig to uncover that. And they found evidence that we were using fire for domestic purposes. 400,000 years ago, we were cultivating crops, and this is while some of our ancestors in other parts of the world had a basic diet. Then later on, we've got here 18,000 years ago, we were cultivating wheat, barley, and a range of other produces in Egypt. 14,500 years ago, they found evidence of grinding stones at Aswan, near the dam there, and which shows the level of craftsmanship that we were practicing at that time. 15,000 years ago, we were domesticating cattle. 17,000 to 18,500 years ago, we were cultivating barley, lentils, chickpeas, capers, and dates. 18,000 years ago, astronomy. There's evidence that our East African brothers, as far back as 300 BC, were actually constructing stone calendar pillars that were in alignment with the stars and the constellations. What? Yes, family, because, there's evidence that goes back that as much as 250,000 years ago, it is believed that we were studying the stars because some of the information that we have about the cycle of the solar system that only happens, say, once every 26, just under 26,000 years, to be able to recognize that cycle, it would have had to repeat itself several times, and that's 26,000 years repeated several times. And there was one scientist from the calculations that he did said that we must have been studying the stars for about 250,000 years. And even today, they can find, some of those calendar pillars that are still in existence in various parts of the African world. 6,000 years ago, our ancient Sumerians, the black-headed ones, as they called them, were recording the star flares that were happening in the sky. There's so much evidence as well that we had writing. There's some people that try and say that it was the Greeks that introduced the writing system, that they taught the Egyptians hieroglyphics and all kind of nonsense, Well, even pre the hieroglyphics, there were writing systems that were known to us as Africans. And so there's evidence of that. And I've incorporated the information into this ebook. I've mentioned about some of the great architectural marvels, like the great Zimbabwe walls, 800 years old, really impressive stone walls there. That's in the book as well. The metallurgy works that we were doing well ahead of time. 2,000 years ago, Africans were producing carbon steel and using preheated furnaces. Oh my days, there's so much. We were studying aviation 2,300 years ago. That's all in there. So there's evidence, family, from architectural discoveries that, we as Africans made significant contributions in the field of science, technology, mathematics. As I mentioned, mathematics, I'm sure you remember the Lobombo, bone, that's in there as well. Oh, it's great. There's so much that I've been finding out about, pages and pages of it. I can't go through all of it, because it's just far too much. But if you want to know about our early inventions as mathematicians. You know, that goes back 43,000 years, the La Bombo phone. Make sure your children know when they're studying maths that we were the ones, our people that invented counting, mathematics, algebra, geometry, and everything else that would have been needed to do all these wonderful, build all these wonderful cities and kingdoms. So many cities and kingdoms. I've mentioned so many of them in here as well. And when, you know, they were at their height. Also, I talk about some of the greats who were involved as freedom fighters, who fought off the invaders who were trying to invade their African countries. So there's many names of great ones whose names we ought to know in here as well. I was just blown away. I was just blown away, family, when I was reading up on all of this. And then all of the scripts and the papyruses, you know, the Edwin Smith papyrus that's out there, dated 17th century BCE, the oldest medical text. And it's going to tell you about, you know, some of the surgical things that we had already uncovered as Africans. It's all written in those papyruses, the Eber papyrus, the Rhine papyrus, which is the mathematical one, 1550 BCE. There's so much evidence out there, family, of our greatness. Those of you who have studied the Dogons, those of you who know about the works of the Dogons will know how advanced they are as a people and how far back they go as well in terms of their study of the stars and the universe as well. We had empires. We didn't just have nations. We had empires. We had kingdoms. We had kings and queens. And there is information in here about so many of our great kingdoms. I could name so many of them, but I'm already out of breath with what I've been naming you so far. And also, this ebook is going to have some great images in there as well. And I've started pulling together some of the images, and it's just wonderful. We have such a great history as a people. And then we've got, you know, leaders like Dodo Okufu, who is like, you know, wanting to incite war against his neighbors, who wants to get in bed with the enemy and put his country back in debt after Kwame Nkrumah took them out of debt and put them on a road to recovery and success. No, you know, he wants to go back, you know, and cuddle up with his colonizers and family. So the great news is, anyway, going back to the e-handbook, which is going to be a really great ebook for our family to have, because it's just going to be packed. It's going to be like a little treasure book. It's going to be packed with information, because why is it important? Why is it important? Where is that little well, it's not a little, it's a great profound saying that I came across again today. And it was a saying by John Henry Clark, the wonderful, wonderful John Henry Clark. What did he say? He said so much, but let me just say this. He said, to control a people, you must first control what they think about themselves. And this is what it's all about, family. They are controlling what we think about ourselves, because if they can make us believe that we are nothing, never have been, then we will think we will never be, never have been, never will be. But if we knew our history, if we knew of our greatness, that we were inventors, that if we could see some of the magnificent things that we had created, what we did with the gold, the jewelry that we made. Oh, wow, I came across a wonderful, wonderful quote. Let me just share that quote with you. It's in the little ebook again as well. Let me see if I can scroll through and find it, because, you know, I dropped it in here because it was just so good. It's just an example of what we did with our, no, actually, it's not in here yet. It's gonna come in here. I know exactly where I can find it for you, family. I was like, I'm gonna have to put this in the book. Here it is. Now, we were mining so much gold, hundreds of tons of gold on an annual basis. We have been mining hundreds of tons of gold for centuries, family. And you might wonder, what were we doing with all of that gold? Well, let me bring you a little snippet from the book, African Glory, page 146. And this here is a testimony from someone called De Barros. And he wrote about it in his book, Da Asia, because he had an eyewitness account and gave a description of that eyewitness account of what the emperor of Monomotap's palace actually looked like. Monomotapa, that's a palace, and that was a kingdom in the southern region of Africa by the Zambezi area, not too far from the great kingdom of Zimbabwe itself. And in fact, you know, they were culturally linked. So, you know, what he saw at the Monomotapa Palace in the great Monomotapa Empire wouldn't have been too different to what the palace in the kingdom would have looked like at the great Zimbabwe. He said the inside of a great variety of sumptuous, this is inside of the palace. He said the inside consists of a great variety of sumptuous apartments, tapestry, the manufacturer of the country. So we were manufacturing tapestry, our own materials, and within the palace, there were many sumptuous apartments. He said the floors, ceiling, beams, and rafters are all either gilt or plated with gold and curiously wrought. He said, as are all the chairs of state, the tables, gold, benches, etc. All, he said, were either gilt or plated with gold. He said the candlesticks and branches are made of ivory. The candlesticks and the branches are made of ivory, inlaid with gold, and hang from the ceiling by chains. He's talking about, he was looking at chandeliers made with gold and porcelain and ivory. He said they were hanging from the ceiling by chains of the same metal or silver. So these chains, the chandelier chains were made of gold, you know, or silver. He said the plates, the dishes, and the bowls belonging to the emperor's table are made of a sort of porcelain, curiously wrought on the edges with springs of gold. Oh my God, resembling, he said, those of coral. So, you know, all these fandangles, yeah, I'm imagining it as hanging off the side of the plates, you know, all these coiled fandangles of gold. So it's, you know, he was just marveled by what he was seeing. He says, in short, so rich and magnificent is the palace that it may be said to vie that with which distinguishes a monarch of the East. And, you know, this is the description. Where in a school, college, or university are we hearing the description like this of an African sumptuous palace? And there were many African palaces, and we've been mining gold for centuries. And here is documented evidence based on an eyewitness account of what we were doing with some of that gold. Wow, wow, wow. So there we have it. Also, let me give you a description from another eyewitness account of how we were dressed. And this is in the 17th century. So Monomotapa, that would have been probably between the 13th and the 16th century, say that it would have been at its peak. So around about that time. So here we have, forward a couple of centuries, a description of how the people of Monomotapa actually dressed. And this 17th century visitor, so Monomotapa was still going strong up to the 17th century and probably later than that. It said, this 17th century visitor to the southern region of the African empire said of Monomotapa that the people dress in various ways. At court of the kings, their grandees wear cloths of rich silk, damask, satin, gold, and silk cloth. These are 3 widths of satin, each width with 4 kovodos, that's 2.64 meters. So each width measured 2.64 meters, and each was sewn to the neck, sometimes with gold lace in between, trimmed on 2 sides like a carpet with gold and silk fringes, sewn in place with 2 fingers of wide ribbon woven with gold roses on silk. Oh my gosh, this is the fabric, this is the dress, this is how our people, these are the gowns that our people were wearing in the 17th century, pre-enslavement, pre-colonization. Yeah, it said that Southern Africans mined, here's the bit about the gold, Southern Africans mined gold on an epic scale. One modern writer tells us the estimated amount of gold ore mined from the entire region by the Asians was a staggering, exceeding 43, I'd underestimated, 43 million tons. The ore yielded 700 tons of pure gold, which today would be valued at over 7.5 billion. And as we know today, you know, as much as our gold is being mined out of Africa, our people are still finding huge rocks of gold. I'm sure you've all seen that video clip that went viral of the huge rock of gold that our people found. But what I want to call on our people to do is to mine the gold like we did back in the days. We mined the gold and then we refined the gold. We smelted the gold and we used molds to create gold coins, gold jewelry, gold furniture, gold chandeliers, gold rings. You know, we need to actually start doing the finishing products as we did back in the days. And, you know, some people think, oh, well, we don't have, you know, where have the people with the skills and knowledge of how to do this gone? Well, what I found from the reading that I was doing when I was doing the research, as I've been doing the research, is that, you know, our people have been smelting metals for thousands of years. And I've got the information in various places about how many thousands of years in different parts of Africa. So we've been smelting minerals like iron, copper, bronze, gold. You know, we've been smelting all of this, you know, turning it into liquid all over Africa. It was practiced all over Africa. And we would use the iron to make weapons and swords and cutlasses for domestic purposes, for war, helmets, you know, coat of arms, armory for the horses and the elephants that we take to war. You know, so we were great blacksmiths. We were the great at making a whole range of. I mean, just think of the Nigerian knock and benin bronzes that were made, and the life size and the greater than life size benin bronzes as examples of, you know, the artistry, the greatness of our people and their ability, you know, to turn these metals into finished produces. We did it then, we can do it again. But yeah, what I was saying is what I found is that the Europeans, when they were capturing us as Africans and taking us from the continent, they were actually targeting those who had these types of skills. So many of us brought these skills with us to the Americas and to the Caribbean. And that's why we shouldn't be surprised when we find out that it was us as Africans in the Caribbean that actually were the ones that brought about the introduction of metaphor in Europe. Yes, let me see if I can find the artist about the article rather about the Jamaicans who had actually introduced metaphor into Jamaica. Well, they were practicing in it. It's a sad story, really. There's two sides to the story. It was featured in the Guardian newspaper. Jamaican. Let's see. Here we have it. Here we have it, family. So when you bear in mind the fact that we had thousands of years of history all across Africa doing these wonderful, wonderful metalworks, we shouldn't be surprised then if we find that those skills were actually brought with us to the Caribbean and to the Americas and all over Europe. And of course, bear in mind as well that as Africans, we were already in Europe as well. And later on, there is evidence of that work that was happening in Europe also. Well, let me just share screen with you now and share this article with you. And then I'm going to go to the chats and engage in a conversation with you there. But here you have the article dated, oh, that's today. So it's still up to date. And it's telling you that it was African Jamaican metalworkers that actually brought forth the technique that was required, the ingenuity in metalwork that gave rise to Britain's industrial revolution. Yes, indeed. It was the Africans from Jamaica. So let me see if they got the story here. Let's have a quick read. This isn't the article that I was looking for, but it's the information about what happened. So many of us have probably heard about what they call the court process. Court was the name of the man who was supposed to have been the one that introduced metal smelting and metalwork in the UK, in Britain, in such a way that it gave rise to the Industrial Revolution. But that was just a cover-up story because the man thieved the revolutionary scientific skills from Africans in Jamaica. Let's backtrack. So when the Brattle Group, engaged by the University of the West Indies, CARICOM Reparation Commission, made its assessment of reparations to be paid in relation to transatlantic slavery, they was required to pay 9.5 trillion in reparations. But wait, there's a twist, this article saying. It seems that in their number crunching extravaganza, the Brattle Group might have skipped a few pages in the history books. You see, Britain's proud boast to being the world's top dog in fabricated iron export, thanks to something fancy called the court process, actually owes a tip of that hat to enslaved African metalworkers in Morant Bay, Jamaica. That's right. That's right, because they actually went to Jamaica, saw the process that was happening there in Jamaica about how to wrought the iron from scrap. And they were so impressed with the way that the Jamaicans were actually doing it that they took the technique to Britain. And let's hear, it was 76 Jamaicans who were actually in the refinery doing the works. And in the Guardian newspaper, they actually mentioned the names as well. Here they are, of the 76 Jamaican metalworkers who were doing the ironworks in Morant Bay, in a factory in Morant Bay, Jamaica. And it was their technique that they had brought with them from Africa and from parts of Europe as well, as Africans, as enslaved Africans, that was actually used and imported back to the UK to innovate the Industrial Revolution. Wow. So, we didn't even get credit for that. But, if you read this in isolation, some people, like some that I have on my platform here, try to dispute everything we say. They would say, oh, yeah, Africans, enslaved Africans, really, they were the ones that brought the technology to launch the British Industrial Revolution that then became the European Industrial Revolution? Yes. Yes, if you look at the fact within the context of our hundreds of thousands of years of experience on the African continent, of doing iron smelting, bronze smelting, smelting of all sorts of metals, by the time we became captured as enslaved Africans, we were indeed, the experts at smelting iron. And this technique was taken to Britain, along with all of the machinery and everything to go with it, and set up shop in England. And here are the names, family, on the records of some of the 76 Black African metallurgists who were running that foundry. They're the ones whose names need to be associated with Britain's Industrial Revolution, that built places like Crystal Palace, here we are, Kew Gardens, St Pancras Station. It was this metal technique of us as Africans and Jamaicans that brought about the Industrial Revolution. And here are the names of some of the men: Devonshire, Mingo, Mingo's son, Friday, Captain Jack, Matt, George, Demi, Jemmy, Jackson, Will, Bob, Guy, Kofi, and Kwesi. You will see here that we have some African names, Kofi and Kwesi. These are likely to be Africans who were transported to Jamaica directly from Africa. And you will see that there were also European sounding names. And some of you might think, oh, these were the people who were given the name of the plantation owners. No, not Nogoso. These are the names of some of the Africans who were from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, who were transported from those regions when they were emptying Ireland, Scotland, and England of the Africans who were the original people of those regions. Many of us went as Africans who were living in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. We left those regions. We were transported out of those regions to the Caribbean and to the America with our name. And here we have, in that metal manufacturing iron workshop, 76 Black African metallurgists who had come together, some with African names, some with European sounding names, who had come together and had introduced, as it says here, the rollers in the foundry that was smoothing out the impurities of the iron so that it could then be used to do these sorts of works. I mean, the ingenuity of us as a people, even during our enslavement on the plantations in Jamaica, we were innovative, we were being creative, and we were trying to make life probably a bit easier for ourselves as enslaved Africans to do the work that we were required to do. But, the sad side of this as well is that I learned that, some of the works that we were doing with the metal in the metal sector on these plantations is that we were making the chains that were being used to shackle us. We were making the iron instruments, the cannons, the balls, the cannonballs, and all the instruments of enslavement. We were actually making them. We were in their factories making them. And as sad and as awful as it sounds, the reality is today is that we're still in their institutions and organizations contributing towards making the weaponry and the machinery and giving them the ideas for the technology that they're using to continue to enslave us and to hold us down today. Wow, wow, wow. That is why, you know, after we won our independence, this is why they insisted that a lot of these factories get closed down, because they didn't want us continuing to utilize our metallurgy skills, because they thought we might start making weapons that we would use against them, because that's what we were doing. Some of our people do. We were making weapons, but we were making it for them that they were then using, you know, to capture our people on the continent. So it was a wicked cycle, a sad cycle, really, of abuse, of torment and torture. And to think that, you know, we were complicit in that in some ways as well, because we were the ones who were making the instruments of our enslavement that was making our lives so awful. So all those metal instruments, you know, when people were shackled, you know, to the ground, and those bolts and things that would that we would be chained to, you know, it's all getting made in these factories. But having said that, you know, the skills still lies in our DNA, still lies in our DNA. If we were doing it then, we can certainly be doing it now. And I think, you know, when our people read these stories in the book that I've done and the ebook that I've put together, you know, when we start remembering our history, when we start remembering our greatness, when we start remembering, you know, our accomplishments and all that we used to do, maybe then, you know, maybe then we will begin to rise again in our greatness. Let me go over to the chat and hear what's going on there. And also, for those of you who are just joining us, please do remember that I do have a new channel on YouTube, and the new channel is called African World Affairs. Please do go to my new channel and subscribe. So if you don't find me here because they've locked me down, you can find me there. Here's a link to that channel and the intro video that I have put there. And also, let me just give you another link that will also take you to the channel. And this is the name of it. And please do share it. It's called African World Affairs. The channel is called African World Affairs. So if you do @African World Affairs, it should come up. Please do go there and subscribe. And to the early birds who go over and subscribe, you are going to get a free copy of the ebook that I was just talking about. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the love, family. So if you haven't already done so, please do go there and subscribe, so that when I put out videos on that channel, which I will be starting to do very soon, then you will get the notices of those videos that I have put on that channel. So, family, what are you saying at the chat? Let's see what I want. Okay. Kwame is saying, yes, Africans, we are the originators. We're the original man. Yes, indeed, we are. Kofi and Kwesi, both born on Koumba and Umoja days. Oh, rise up, rise up. Koumba and Umoja days. I've got a note here somewhere that tells me of those days. I should know it off by heart, but I'm embarrassed to say that I don't. But I asked Leader Bandaka when he was on my show recently to remind me of the names of our days, because when we talk about Sunday, Monday, and all the days of the week, we're actually calling the names of their deities, and we're giving power to their deities. And so what we needed to do as a people, we need to give the power back to our deities. So Umoja Day is Sunday, which means unity. Kujigugia Day is Monday. Ujima Day is Tuesday, which is collective works and responsibility. Ujama is Wednesday. So today is Ujama Day. Cooperative economics. Nia, purpose, Kuumba, creativity, Imani Day is Saturday, which is faith. So we should be, instead of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we should be Umoja, Kukuchikia, Ijima, Uchama, Nia, Kuumba, Imani. Those are our 7 days. So rise up, Brother Kwame Iboje. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Darlene, I absolutely agree. She said, we are the original everything, literally. We are. Writing, mathematics, science, medicine, the music and performing arts, everything. Are we? Culture, everything. Architecture, building in stones, building in natural materials. Energy, free energy, natural energy. In my other book, not this ebook, but in the other book, not only am I talking about, our great accomplishments as Africans in the science and mathematics, etc., in ancient times, but I'm also homing in on some of our great inventors of today. Those, that are making cars that run off of water, for example. We don't need to be taking the oil out of the earth, the oil that is needed in the earth to lubricate the earth. Then we wonder why we're having all these earthquakes. Of course, we've got HARP and those other weather manipulation weapons that they're using that we know about. But, we don't need all of that. The earth needs the oil. The earth took millions and millions of years to produce all of the natural oils that is there, and we're sucking it out like it's going out of fashion. And we don't need to be doing that. We don't need to be sucking the oil out, because we can create energy from water. We can create energy from the sun. We can create energy from the wind. We can create energy in a multiplicity of other ways. We don't need to be using oil. But hey, what do you think would happen to the energy companies if we all started using natural energy? They don't want that. They would rather take out a brother or a sister who comes up with those inventions. And so when our African brothers and sisters think that, yes, they've come up with something that's going to save the planet, let's run and tell Massa. That's the last thing you should be doing, because we've had inventors who have literally disappeared, who have been murdered, who have been poisoned because of their inventions. So we need to know, that our people, our great scientists and inventors of today need to be protected. Okay, let's go over to the chat, family. Great to have you in the house. Oh, you're throwing more names at me. Fantastic names of greats of ours who we need to remember. Our pioneers, says Brother Kimani. Carter G. Carter G. Woodson. Paul Cuffey, yes. Tidea says, we didn't sell each other maybe before or 5%, if it not 1% of traitors, but 95% fought to stay free. We just need the 1 or 2% like those in power today, the Pigamis, the leaders like of Ghana and Gambia, Ghana, Adolfo, and the leader of Kenya, the Rutos and the like, and the Ramaphosas and the like. Yeah, we just need a few people in those sort of positions, and they will sell their entire citizen. They will sell their citizens. They will keep their citizens in poverty and in darkness, and not care, as long as their house has got light and their friends and their family have got food on the table. We've got some wicked people in positions of power, and that's all we need. 1 or 2 in positions of power, and they can cause mass destruction. But the vast majority of us, as we can see on the streets of Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea, as we can see from the wonderful people who are supporting their revolutionary freedom fighters, the vast majority of us are fighters and are prepared to stand together as Africans against the evil forces that is trying to oppress us as a people, because we were born free. We were born to be free. Look at the animals that roam free. Look at the birds and the freedom that they have. That's the freedom we need to have as a people. You know, all this oppression and all these rules and all this, you know, stress and distress. There was a report that came out actually just within the last couple of strongs or so here in the UK to say that, you know, inflation and the oppression is going to get so bad here in the UK that levels of suicide is going to go up. People are going to be dying before their time. People are going to have to be making the decision between food and paying their bills. It's criminal what's going on. Okay, let's go back. Kwame says, yes, as well as our gold and our diamonds. Africans, yes, as Africans, we migrated to all parts of the world. Yes, we did indeed. So he says he's not surprised that these Europeans can't do their own thing. All they can do is to thieve. For real, up until today, everything them thieve. Then thief our culture. They even steal our names. They put themselves into our names. They put themselves and their image into our history. They whitewash the faces of the Africans to put their own faces there. You know, when they find our gold coins with our African images on it, they take it into the university in the basement of their museums, and they chisel away the nose to flatten the features, you know, of the coins so that we can't see that these coins had the images of African kings and queens. I mean, these people are busy, you know, imitating us, walking in our shoes, claiming our history. Because, you know, if you come out of the cave with no language, no culture, unable to read and write, what can they do? What can they do rather other than teach what had been there for hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of years? Kwame says, yes, Africans keep on wearing our beautiful garments. Absolutely. I mean, that meeting recently when we had the representatives from Burkina Faso, from Niger, in their garbs, didn't they look wonderful? You know, didn't they look so regal in their African garbs rather than coming in their suit and tie up to their neck like in some straight jacket, you know? So yes, Africans, let's keep wearing our gowns. Kwame says, Shanice, we Africans are so fashionable, especially wearing our garments as well as our cloths. Yes, indeed. Rise up, rise up. And Traitor Destroyer, what are you saying there? Naming some names: Risa Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, and Isaac Hayes, Kwame Oboje, Harold Moody, Kwame Oboje, Joy Gardner. Rise up, Tarot. Yes, and rise up, Brother Kwame Oboje as well, for the volume of information that he's pouring into the chat. Oh, wow, Destroyer, you're saying quite a bit there. Let's scroll up some more. And yes, Kwame is reminding us of our kingdoms in Kemet. Yes, Ghana. Yes, Dahomey. Yes, Timbuktu, and 100 and more, definitely. Rise up, Brother Leon. Rise up, everybody in the house. Remember, if you haven't already given me a like, please do so. It would be awesome to be able to look back and see that, you know, the family enjoyed the conversation that we were having here today. Right, is there anyone in the house that would like to join me on this platform for 10 minutes or so? If you would, let me know, and I will post the link in the chat so that you can join me. Would you like to come and join me in the studio and, you know, say a special Black History Month message to the family? If you would, let me know. And I will post the link in the chat. So yeah, so let me know if you want to come and join. Let me see, where do I get the link from? There, invite, copy invite link. Who wants the invite link? Who wants to jump on? Brother Kwame, you want to jump in? Yeah. TDI, would you like to jump in? Watching us from Mali. Awesome, awesome. Oh, you're giving the names of some more of our empires. Yes, yes, indeed. The Mali Empire, the Kingdom of Sugu. Yes, Monomatapa. We had the Great Kingdom of Zimbabwe. We had so many empires. What's the one with all the spikes coming out? Next to Timbuktu, we had the city of Timbuktu. Oh, rise up, Brother Norman's giving me a love gift of $10. Thank you so much. Oh, that's wonderful. And, Brother Norman, if you haven't already, quickly do sign up to my new channel, because everyone who signs up to my new channel, if you're the first to sign up, drop me an email. I want to make sure that you get a free copy of my e-handbook, which is going to be ready. I've given myself at least 2 strong to get it finished and get it out there. And I want those of you who are the early subscribers to my new channel, and those of you who are my wonderful Patreon subscribers, to get a free copy of that book. We are 10 minutes away from the top of the hour. Would you like to jump in? Brother Norman, would you like to jump on the stage? Anybody want to join me in the platform? Brother Norman says you are welcome. What is the title of the new channel? Okay, you're just coming through the door. Thank you. Let me just remind everybody of the title of the new channel. There's the Zoom link that I've just posted in the chat. Should you want to join me, you've got it there. And the new channel is African World Affairs. So it's at African World Affairs. That's the name of the new channel, at African World Affairs. Let me post that in the chat as well, so that you can go over and subscribe. So please do become a subscriber. I need to have, I don't know, X amount of subscribers and X amount of views before I can start going live on that platform. And so what will happen is, if I can't do a live here, like I couldn't do last strong because them locked me down, then I can do a live on the new channel. And I'm also going to be posting some news reports on that new channel as well. Angie Love says, we live in their miserable heads, rent-free, 24/7. They look ghastly in African attire. Oh, must be some Wuzungus trying to get to the African look, is it? And you're saying that they look ghastly in our attire? Is that what you're saying there? Okay, so yeah, anyone want to come and join me? The links in the chat. You might just want to come in on the platform to rise up the audience, okay? You might just want to say hi. So Mikey's saying, I thought Wazungu Tarzan swung through the trees. In it, I can talk to the animals. You know, Africans have been in Africa so many, for thousands, millions of years, and this Wazungu can come and just start talk to animals. So yeah, really. Yeah, really. So we want to rise up Granville T. Woods. We want to rise up Baba Norman Shay. We want to rise up Louis Latimer, who improved Thomas Edison's light bulb. Yes, we do indeed. Norman says, Darlene X, sadly, some of those conversations of passing information to us were done under fake friendship forged with them, like the mother of who used to cook for them and giving them information. Okay, there's a bit of a conversation going on there. Sorry, I don't know what the angle is of that. Yeah, Rise Up Hakeem Addy as well, running a great campaign as we speak. Francois Macandal, yes. Bini Buntu, yes. Rise Up, Miriam Makiba as well, rising up all the families. So you've got a couple of minutes if you want to join me on this platform. So yes, just to remind you, if you haven't already done so, please do sign up to my new channel. Please do help me to spread the word and the information about the new channel as well by sharing the link in your family chats, in your community chats, and across your networks. Rise up, check TV, rise yourself up as well. So it's okay if no one comes and joins me. I know what it's like if you're not prepared. You know, sometimes when I'm at home, and I'm watching the lives, I couldn't come live, I have to fix up myself little before we can come live. So if we come live, I say, we're gone. So we have to look, kind of decent. So, sometimes when I'm watching the live, we have on my nightie, I'm dressing gown or whatever, so we can't, come live. So, it goes. And it's late in some parts of the world. Where I am, it's almost midnight, actually, at the moment. Let me see what the time is. Yeah, it's a few minutes away from midnight where I am right now. And I know in the UK, it's a few minutes away from 10 a.m. So I know it's late. Okay, family. So, I thank you so much for the love that you've shown to me by staying with me throughout the evening today. Next strong, I'm thinking of maybe doing part 3 of my presentation on Ireland. Suggestions welcome. It is Black History Month, and let me know in the chat, who you would like me to reach out to. Paula Bina's in the house. Watching from Kenya, Nairobi. Rise up, brother Paula Bina. Is that? No, it's not Paula Bina. It's Paul Uma. Okay, I thought it was Paula Bina. We've got a Paula Bina who's been a guest on my show before. But isn't it wonderful to know that we've got a brother watching all the way from Kenya, Nairobi? I'm not happy, by the way, with your president, Ruto. I think, he needs to do better. What does he think he's doing? Bringing 1,000 people to of his police, leaving clear from Kenya to go and do policing in Haiti on behalf of the US. Is he mad? Look at all the problems and the challenges and the terrorist attacks that are happening on the borders of Kenya. Before he sort out his business at home, he's taking his few police, that 1,000 police that are needed in Kenya, to go to Haiti to oppress the people of Haiti on behalf of the US. Absolutely appalled. And, I'm also appalled at his tax policies that he's imposing on his people over there. My beloved brother, it's good to have you in the house, but, I've got to just call out and expose the hypocrisy of your president. And he was also condemning, the coup leaders as well. I agree with that at all. But good to have you in the house. We love Nairobi. We love Kenya. Great to have you in the house. Let us know how we can support you, our brothers and sisters who are watching on the continent. There are a lot of people in the house here who are from the diaspora, who have a heart for Mama Africa. Let us know how we can support you. We want to be your supporters. We're here for you. So welcome all of our beloved brothers and sisters on the continent. Okay, so no one's going to come and join me in the chat. Brother Norman says, Sister Shanice, I always wondered how to use Zoom. I am discovering it now by your mention of your alternate channel. I am a bit behind with the latest technology stroke tools. Family, if you want to get in touch and you want me to do a session on, the little that I know, I'm happy to share that knowledge with you. So yes, I'm starting a new channel. When I started this channel, I know I had to have X number of subscribers and X number of hours worth of views before I could go live. I can't remember what it is, but, I'll have to look into that. But to go live, you do so via Zoom. You can use Zoom, and from Zoom, you link it to your YouTube account, and you go live via your YouTube, or you can go live via your Facebook. And because I'm still got the basic level of Zoom, I can't go live on too many different platforms, but there's some where you can go live on multiple platforms. So if you've just joined us, you won't know because you would have missed the fact that I was sharing some really exciting news with our beloved brothers and sisters. I was telling you all about my e-handbook that I am, in the process of writing. And that e-handbook is talking about our greatness as a people. And in there, I've got so much of the research that I've been doing, and I've put it into this e-handbook. And this e-handbook is going to be like a little treasure chest, a treasure trove of information for our family and for our young people. It talks about some of our great kingdoms, our great cities, our great empires. It talks about some of our great leaders, some of the great accomplishments in some of those empires. Let me name some of the few. The Dejeno Empire, the Ife Empire of Nigeria, the Kingdom of Monomotapa, the great Zimbabwe Empire. It talks about the Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Nok Empire, the Empire of Kanem, the Kingdom of Aksum. It goes, the Empire of Ghana. So many family. You're gonna have to get the ebook, and it's gonna be ready within the next couple of strongs. And the first to get it free of charge are gonna be my early subscribers. So make sure I've got your email address and your links and your details of those of you who have subscribed. Hopefully I should be able to just go in and see who the early subscribers to the channel are. And also, if you are a Patreon supporter, you will be getting a free copy of that ebook as well. It's definitely going to be ready as well by the time we do our fundraiser event. If you've just tuned in, you may not be aware that we're doing a fundraiser event for the female rape victims of the DRC Congo. A few months ago, if you remember, on one of my panels, we had some brothers and sisters from the Congo who were letting us know about the atrocities that were happening over there. And they said that there's so much work that they want to do on the ground, but they can't because, they're limited by the lack of finances. And everyone in the group was saying, by the time that show was finished, they were saying, Sister Shanice, you've got to organize a fundraiser event. And some wonderful people have come together with me to help put together a fundraiser event that's going to be happening on Saturday, the 28th of October. So please put that date in your diary, 6 p.m. UK time, which I think is 12 noon Eastern time, and it is 5 p.m. GMT time. Okay, need you to support that because we want to be a support to the people of the DRC Congo. We also want to be of a support to our people in Haiti. And so we've got artists, we've got speakers, we're going to have a panel debate, we're going to have Q&A, we're going to have organizational representatives all participating. We've got some great names and some great people who have already come on board, and I am so grateful. So, to make it a success, I need you to be there. So please do join us on that day. There will be a small fee, and all proceeds will be going towards the fundraising efforts. Brother Norman says, yes, I remember your presentation on that matter. It was heartbreaking, wasn't it? Heartbreaking. Tadia says, yes, Kwame, this is our strength. Learn from, always, never give up. That's right. We can never, ever give up. We have to keep on striving. We have to keep on doing the works, and we will keep rising as a people, and we will win. Family, woo! It's been a 2-hour marathon session. Hey, if you haven't already done so, thanks, Brother Mikey. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much. And on leaving, please do, before you leave this channel, put a comment on the outside under the video. Let people know, what you thought of this presentation, this Black History Month special, to encourage people to watch it and hopefully sign up to my new channel as well. Thank you, family. I will be back next strong. Let me see if you've put the names of any speakers that you want me to reach out to during this Black History Month era. Let me know. Can't see any names there. But even after I log on, you can still continue to write the names Oh, Kwame Aboje says, bring brother leader Bandaka back again. Okay, family, I will definitely reach out to brother leader Bandaka, who's a wonderful friend of this platform. Certainly will do. Kwame Aboje says, Edward William Gordon. Oh, also to let you know that Leader Bandaka is one of our speakers, one of our guest speakers at the fundraiser event as well. Yeah, Edward William Gordon. Yes, our beloved brother Nana Bonsu had him as a guest on his radio show. Phenomenal story, very encouraging, inspirational story about himself and his father. Yes, I'll reach out to him as well. Let me see if there's any other suggestions. Yeah, just put guest speaker next to the name so that I know that you are suggesting the names as a speaker and not just remembering them for their greatness and recognizing. Brother Robin Walker, I'd love to have Brother Robin Walker on, you know. I think I'm reaching out to the wrong email address, or I have been in the past, but yes, I will definitely try again. Brother Jammers, yes, Brother Jammers, gotta have Brother Jammers back. We haven't had him for a while as well. Reach out to Kahindi Andrews. I don't know if I know Brother Kahindi Andrews. Brother Kimani, you know, send me some details about Brother Kahindi, and I will definitely try. Oh, Brother Baba Maponga, he's so busy. Can I get him back again? I will try. Brother Echaba Adisebu. Okay, Black Cinema, I'll reach out. So these are the ones that you want me to reach out to. So absolutely we'll do. DeGraff Johnson for his book, African Glory. Oh, wouldn't it be awesome? I love that book. I will try. And family, if you have links to any of these people that you're suggesting, I don't have a link to DeGraff Johnson, but if you do, if you have a link to Brother Robin Walker, if you have a link to Brother Kahindi Andrews, who's King Gezo, you know, yeah, if you have a link to some of these people, please do get in touch with them and, you know, warm them up for me. And we will indeed try it and get them on the show just for you. Family, Sister Shanice, out of here for now. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, Norman, how are you coming now? I'm just seeing you now in the chat. Let me give you 5 minutes. Brother Norman is joining me on stage just as I was leaving. Brother Norman, I can see that you're in here, but I can't actually see you. Brother Norman, are you there? I was just about to end. And are you there, Brother Norman? I can see you're in the house, but your video is off. And I'm not hearing you. So, okay, I'll tell you what, Brother Norman, get ready to join me next strong, okay? I'm just wrapping up now, well over time. Sister Shanice, out of here for now. Bye for now.